and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to wherever you are, to our virtual Prime Global Forum 2021. We are happy to welcome you to our session, which is called What is the Sustainability Mindset Working Group? We are one of the Prime working groups, and I'm happy to introduce my colleagues who are with me today, all members of our working group. Then I will give a short introduction about the working group itself, and then we'll have each of our presenters talking about their passion project. And hopefully by the end of the session, we'll still have some time for a live discussion. I'll start with Mehdi Majidi, who is founder and president of the Libre Alliance, and he's joining us from France today. Mehdi is an academic, an international consultant, and the founder of the Libre Alliance, which is a new project and the passion project that he will share with us today. Joanna Manzorido Anasi, I do apologize for my Greek is not perfect, but Joanna is joining us today from the US. She's a master's student. She's pursuing her degree in strategic management, and she's also a graduate assistant at the Department of Management of Pace University. The next speaker today will be Milda Zelinskaite, who is joining us from Vienna. She is senior scientist at Wirtschaftsuni WU Vienna at the STAR Competence Center, and she'll talk about her passion project, which is connected to immigration. Milda is a fantastic multi-talented person with various fields of expertise, starting from linguistics to sustainability. So she is very unique in this way in her interests and her path towards what she's doing right now. The next speaker is Ayaka Huang. She is Director of Sustainable MBA Program at Maharishi International University, and she's joining us from USA again. Ayaka is very innovative in what she's doing in the classroom. She's bringing the being and the knowing components, so the left and the right part of the brain together, and doing amazing projects with her students, really connecting them to the needs of communities and bringing sustainability not only to the heads, but also to the hearts of the students. Isabel Rivanasi is the founder and the convener of the Prime Working Group on the Sustainability Mindset. She's also joining us from the US, from Florida. Isabel is passionate about finding leverage points to accelerate change for a better world. And she does it by training academics. Like most of us have participated in the training programs that Isabel does regularly. And she helps us to develop sustainability mindset with our students. And last but not least is myself. I'll be your moderator today, the facilitator. And right now I'm working at the Graduate School of Business as an associate professor at the Department of Strategic and International Management with HSE University in Moscow. And I'm passionate about sustainability as a lifestyle, and that's what I'm trying to do in the courses that I teach in research and outreach activities. So now, once we know who are the best part of our working group are the people, of course, I would like to tell you a little bit more about what is the Sustainability Mindset Working Group. Well, it all started 7 years ago with a group of 16 people from 16 different countries joining together and saying that we need a community of non-mainstream educators who would really bring a change into the world by given a different way of teaching and advocating for a different way of engaging with students through experiential learning and various opportunities outside of the classroom. So by now we're 7 years old, and this community has over 160 professors from 130 universities in 54 different countries. All over 5 continents. So we have countries like Austria and Australia, USA and Russia, India and Brazil, Argentina and Sri Lanka, Spain and Japan, China and France, South Africa and Finland. And yeah, we are not very conventional. And initially our group was called LEAP, and you see it on our logo, and LEAP stands for leveraging resources, expanding awareness, accelerating change, and partnering for a joint purpose. But in 2015, at the similar Prime Forum, we were invited to become an official working group of Prime, which we are now happy to be part of. And why is it important for us to be this community? Well, because the network makes sense, and we bring this change by connecting to each other, by doing lots of projects together. And I'll explain what we do and how we contribute to achieving sustainable development goals through all of our activities. But first of all, it's important to say that as a community, it's free to join us. You don't have to pay anything. It's structured about being informal. It's very much decentralized. And we all are passionate about sustainability mindset. What we do, how does this community function? Basically, there are certain formats which we all know and which are set. The first one of them is called the LEAP Cafe, and this is our regular meetings, which take place every Monday, first Monday of the month, in 2 time zones, where you can informally meet with all of the members who are available at that time and join us on Zoom and just meet informally, connect. The second format is called Storytelling Circle. That's where we meet to share our experience in teaching, in our passion projects, in research. That's also once a month. The next tradition that we have is Academy of Management. We normally have a professional development workshop. This year it will also take place, and many of those people who I see today with us will be joining this professional development workshop. And we also have a tradition to gather together prior to Academy to have our own retreat, which would normally be offline, but last year, because of the COVID, we had the first time in an online format. It was lots of fun. We called it a magical retreat, and this year it will also be taking place online. Then we have our Mobilize platform to connect with each other and share all of the news, projects, invitations, all sorts of new ideas that we develop, which is really easy way for us to cooperate and to network. Then we also have a newsletter, which is quarterly and helps to stay in touch and share all the news and achievements that our members have. Then we have professional development opportunities, which Isabel Rimanasi provides. One of them is the fast track course for educators to learn what is a sustainability mindset as a concept and how to apply it in the classroom. It's super popular. That's how I started my teaching career. That was super helpful. The next opportunity for professional development is called Sustainability Mindset Principles Atelier, and that's where you can learn about the 12 principles of sustainability mindset. And of course, there are lots of networking opportunities with UN Global Compact, other working groups of Prime, ACSB, FMD, and other organizations. And the last part that I wanted to tell about our working group is the impact. So what is it that we're doing? Well, first of all, we're creating frameworks, and the concept of sustainability mindset, which was developed collectively, the 12 principles of the sustainability mindset, and the sustainability mindset indicator, which Isabel will present today. Then we write books together, and what I have in my hands, just 2 examples of the books which have been created collectively, and we have 2 more coming up, hopefully next year. Today we signed a contract with Routledge on the book, which is called Revolutionizing Sustainability Education, with 17 people, authors, teams of authors participating in this great book project. And the second book, which is coming up, will be on sustainability and leadership, also hopefully next year. All in all, there are around 100 publications each year, which our members deliver. And we're happy to present our findings at various international conferences, create institutional structures at the universities where we work. And last year, we were writing a chapter with Isabel for the Prime book. And we discovered that through our teaching, every year we touch around 20,000 students who learn the concept of the sustainability mindset. And that's how it looks like, basically. Students, they learn through educators, professors who are members of our working group. They develop the sustainability mindset, and they bring this ripple effects to other stakeholders that they engage with in their communities, in their families, at the workplace, on social media. And that's how we impact the world. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is called the Sustainability Mindset Indicator. And this is something that Isabel will be presented today as her passion project. But here you can sign up for trying this. And don't forget that to reach out to us, you can always visit us on the Prime website. And simply email Isabel or myself if you would like to become a member. That's it from my side. I thank you very much for your attention. And now I would like to give the floor to Mehdi, who will share his passion project. And I will help him with the slides. So there we go, Mehdi. The floor is yours. You have 4 minutes.
You're muted.
Thank you, Isabel, because I don't see Mehdi.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So passion is the driving force of what we are doing, and the network is the leverage that allows us to do things. All of this connection with the group started when I met Isabel days ago. It looks like my system is not working now.
No, we can hear you.
You can hear? Okay, it showed muted. Wonderful. Being around the world, I have two hats, being a teacher in academia and also a consultant in international projects with World Bank and USAID. I realized that this balance or lack of balance between material life and spiritual life is always a concern wherever I'm working. And I've been thinking about this until sustainability came along, and immediately I jumped in this project and focused on value systems of sustainability, cultural values, and what are the belief systems that drive this or supports sustainability, and what are the belief systems that actually prevents or makes it more difficult. I think it was one of the first graduate program I created on cross-culture and sustainable business management, focusing on this aspect. At that time, I met Isabel, and of course, her passion and her energy, we connected and we continued. Since then, this group has been practically my source of relying and moving forward. After working in different places, I noticed that being a catalyst as an individual, I need to create a system of what I'm doing, bringing my consulting and education in one platform. Being at home, working online, teaching to Chinese students over the other side of the world, created the Libra Alliance, which practically is a catalyst on the practical aspects of implementing sustainability and prime objectives to the institutions and to the classrooms. So creating an organization that makes this network in an organic, systematic way to work together, leveraging on our collective group energy in a practical way of implementing wherever we are working. That's at the core what Libra Alliance is. And the name, it says it also, is It's an alliance that is in balance. And if you look at the logo, you will see there is no connection between elements. We are together without being dependent. It's about interdependency without dependency of all the networks. I hope that I use my 4 minutes. I'm not going to abuse the time and take someone else's time. If there are more questions or something, I can jump in and participate.
Thank you so much, Mehdi. So I tried to share your slides, and I hope the message was out there.
That's all right. Just type the name and the website, that will work. You can show the website.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have it already. I would like now to invite Joanne to join us, and the floor is yours. Then 4 minutes from your side.
Thank you, Katerina. So today I just want to share some strong memories I have from the working group that I've been part of since February, and just talk about how it motivated me to do certain things in my community. So I'm the founder and president of the Strides International Business Club at my school at Pace University. And I've always tried to connect it with sustainability through different events and bringing guest speakers related to this. But with the exercises we did during the working group that were very simple yet very important, and they allowed us to go in depth with all the principles and understand the importance of them to us, I got inspired and I realized that there are a lot of more things that I can do with this club. So I started planning my ideas for next semester, and I feel much more empowered that I know what I'm doing and how I can teach others what the sustainability mindset really means. And obviously, I think all of us understand the power of networking and connections being part of this group. But for me, I didn't realize it till we had those learning partners that we were matched with every 2 weeks. And I remember my first one, it was Sabnam from Bangladesh, and we were creating a presentation on eco-literacy. But we started talking about all the things that connect us to sustainability, and we realized that we can do a lot more outside the working group. So I gave a presentation on empathy at her class, and we discussed more ideas. So it was very eye-opening to see how there are so many people out there in the world working on the same thing that I've been working on. And I felt really motivated to continue on that path. And lastly, this very holistic experience gave me the strength to not only be an advocate and a change agent, but try to make people who have never heard about sustainability realize how impactful it can be to try to learn more. Because sometimes you meet people who have been exposed to this field for years, and others that they don't really even know what it means, but they're not willing to try. So my challenge was to find these people and try to open their eyes. And that's what I'm doing now with my summer internship. So I've been an employee experience intern at CEO, the Center of Employment Opportunities, and I'm in the process of creating an affinity group on the sustainability mindset. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Isabel from literally the bottom of my heart for giving me the chance to be part of this. And I encourage everyone to join it if they have the chance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. The students' voices are always the ones we love to hear as educators, and it's such a privilege to have you with us. Thank you. And now I'd love to turn to Milda and your passion project.
So I would also like to thank Joanna first. We would love to have more of you right here, about 100 of you. But I will now share our story about founding a new initiative called Migration, Business and Society. And just looking at the screen, I think in this group, probably we all have some kind of migration background, so one way or another. So clearly that's a topic that's highly, highly relevant today. Now, I was asked to talk from the perspective of an institutional activist, and of course, institutions are made of people. So this initiative is about mobilizing people, and in our case, it's university researchers and lecturers, especially those of us based at business schools, but also managers in and of companies, so that people can then gradually nudge their institutions toward engaging more with this, at least in my opinion, undeniably important topic for sustainable development. So as highlighted in the UN 2030 agenda, we all know migration is interconnected with human and labor rights, with economic development, and with environmental sustainability, including climate change. And moreover, from the managerial perspective, the recent changes in global patterns of migration, those have had important implications for the strategies and decision-making of firms. And yet at business schools, this topic is all but ignored in teaching. So with colleagues Aida Jairo, who is actually a co-founder of this initiative, and Paul Baldassari, we call this the big elephant in the room, right, in the sustainability discourse. If I may share my screen, we'll hope that will work. So for the next few minutes, can you all see that? That would mean the audience sees this too. So this, thank you. This is our homepage. As I said, we actually started this website less than 6 months ago. And we describe here who we are. So we are a network of people who are dedicated to generation and exchange and dissemination of knowledge about migration. And as founding members, we are based at an institution at Vienna University of Economics and Business. But what we really seek, our key aim here, is to gather practitioners, not just academics, but academics and business executives, to sit at the same table and to exchange challenges and opportunities that they face in real world settings related to migration. So if I may just share very briefly, our advisory board, we really kept this goal in mind. And so we tried to put together people who run big companies like Paul here, or leading scholars at universities like Alexander, Marioko, Chris, and Christina, human rights consultants like Kevin and Neil, and also a lead economist at the World Bank. So really a mixture of people with different experiences. And what we try to do here is to get them to inform us, and then we try to take that information and disseminate it to a much bigger group of co-signers and endorsers who are mostly lecturers and researchers, so that they can inject their classrooms with this information. A related goal, of course, is to turn this into an information hub. So we have separate pages for research, where we share research-related contents, in page for informing practice. So we upload videos and online toolkits and blogs related to migration. And my side passion is, everything also related to migration and culture. And all this is relevant for teaching, but then we also have a specific page specifically just called Teach and Learn. And there we post links to business textbooks that address migration in individual chapters, handbooks from other disciplines, case studies, and there's a wealth of resources by NGOs and industry alliances that we can all publicly access and use, but they have not yet been compiled and provided to business school lectures in this way. So the driving force behind all this is that we sincerely believe that business schools as institutions can create this lasting wave of change in two ways. And one is, of course, by engaging with the current business leaders. And Mehdi, I thought that what you're doing is also bringing together, right, consultancy and academia, very similar way. And, in the second way, of course, by engaging future business leaders like Joanne, right, or future civil society actors like Joanne. So our students. So thank you for your time and listening to obviously this big passion of mine, and I'm glad to share the website in the chat later on, or simply Google Migration, Business and Society and will pop up.
Thank you so much, Milda. You have a talent at connecting people from different walks of life, and also all of us here in this virtual room that, we all have different roots, and that might be an issue for all of us to discuss. And the last part of our session today. And now I would like to turn to Ayaka, and the floor is yours. with your passion project.
Thank you. My passion is three things: it's sustainable mindsets, and my students, and sustainable projects. So today I'm going to sharing how I'm making all my favorite passion stuff together, interconnected. So I would like to show you a small video that's sharing my story. So let me do the sharing first. Okay, this is about the project.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ayaka. Please.
Okay. So this is about a class project. Each year we have a different project. The rule number one for me is I don't preside the class project. And rule number two is must be fun to have the environment for students to engage. Rule number three is be the facilitator. I never be lecture what to do, need to do. They teach me what to do. And we reflecting together what have we learned so far. And more important, be practical, how we can impact. And actually this time we do the assessment, how much a school can save. And then the schools top management are so happy. Students have fun and also save energy and also promoted the awareness around the campus. So that's my short story about how to implement with the sustainable mindset and encourage students to have a passion to do more than with themselves and with community together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayaka. Fantastic art project, not all in terms of the content, but all of your creativity that you put in making this video. Enjoyed it so much. And now I'd love to invite Isabel Rivanassi with her fashion project.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to hear all these different variations of where our heart takes us. What I wanted to share started actually about 6 years ago. And it was in a conversation with one of our colleagues, Ashish Pandey, who said, is there a way that we can measure the mindset and where a person is on their mindset, or how can we measure that? And I said, good question. So I had no idea how that could be measured. So it is an egg that has been long time in gestation. So finally, about 3 years ago, I started to think what would be a way to develop a scale. Should it be a scale that helps us in the research? Should it be an assessment? Should it give a quotient like the intelligent IQ, EQ, SQ, SMQ? So it was not very clear. What crystallized over time is that we needed something that maps and profiles where an individual is on their journey, that it helps in promoting research so that we can explore differences, demographic differences, age differences, before a course, after 3 years, longitudinal studies, but at the same time that it should become a personal development tool. So what this became, it's called the Sustainability Mindset Indicator. And it is an instrument to map and profile where an individual is on their journey, but also it provides questions and suggestions to continue moving along that continuum. One of the characteristics is that it has 36 bipolar statements. Bipolar means that we have two statements to choose which is the one that represents us better. But there are no right or wrong answers, and that is very important, because many times when we do a test, we say, oh, what's the right answer? Let me do the right. And here, they're all right. There are no wrongs, because it is where we are, and it is how we see the world, the lens through which we make meaning out of the world. So after completing this choosing in a multiple choice, which is the statement that best represents us, then that takes about 8 minutes or 12. And then there is a personalized report. And this is still in the experimental phase. So the idea is that it will be automated. And right now it is more manual. But when it is automated, you immediately will receive a personalized report that gives you a little bit of a picture where you are, and also what are questions challenging you, asking you what are the upsides and the downsides of where you are, and if you have certain practices, like a combination of suggestions and questions. It also is designed with educators in mind, so that when we start with a group, I was talking earlier today with Morgane. She is a colleague in La Rochelle Business School in France. And she was saying, well, that would be interesting to have some kind of a picture where our students are at the beginning of a course. So that if we see, for example, that they are very good at their systems thinking, however, their aspects related to self-awareness or spiritual intelligence are very narrow, or their creativity is very narrow. So that gives some clues to the professor, to the educator, maybe in the future to coaches. How can I support best this person or this group? So for the educator, it can provide guidance. And I don't know where it will go. We are developing it with Beate Klingenberg. She is based in Florence, Italy. So we are at this time experimenting, sharing it with colleagues. If you people in the audience would like to I think everybody on this call tried it, but if someone in the audience would like to try it out, there is a slide. Do you have that slide with the information, Ekaterina? Because right now there is also a demo. If you click on this, well, you cannot click, but we will write it into the chat too. There is a free demo on the website when you go on smindicator.com, and then you get a feel what is, without having to do the whole thing, you get a feel of how it is. And if you're interested either doing it with your students or exploring more or doing a pilot test, just send us an email to info@smindicator.com, and then we can talk. I think in terms of applications, we were just finishing with the reviews of a paper we submitted for a journal, and the reviewer said, okay, tell us more about the applications of this indicator. And so I have it very fresh in my mind, working yesterday on it. One of we see that this can provide guidance to educators, but also to people that are in leadership development, training, in corporate settings, that they want to provide support, and a little bit more tailored, knowing which are the aspects that can be developed for a sustainability mindset. And the mindset is like the unseen part of the iceberg. What we see on the surface are behaviors, sustainable behaviors, but really what is supporting that is a big mass under the water, which are the beliefs, the paradigms, the assumptions, the values. And until we don't address those, we really cannot expect lasting transformative behaviors or solid behaviors. And I always say what sunk the Titanic was the unseen part of the iceberg. It was not the little bit that we could see. So in that sense, it is important to develop those aspects. And that is a way to do it.
Thank you so much for sharing your passion project that you've been working so hard with Beata in the past several months, I would say even over a year, and now it's great to see it coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 minutes left, and I suggest we use this time to talk to each other, to ask questions based on what we have heard, because we had different perspectives from institutional activists, from student activists, from professors doing fantastic research projects, from all walks and ways of life, how we can bring the sustainability mindset in what we are doing.
Can I add, Ekaterina, also invite the audience to write into the chat? I know some have already been sharing some thoughts in the chat, but please, if you do it before the session ends, we have a chance to respond just in time.
Isabel, remember from the first time we met, cultural values, value systems, mindset was the beginning of our conversation, and you always pushed me in the direction I was already interested moving. And this has been a concern of how do we evaluate our impact in class. And now with this last step of your achievement and what you have done, this practically can be a performance and a progress evaluation of learning objectives. Sustainability measurement is part of the ASTSB accreditation, part of the other reporting systems. So once you pass this step, what you are creating actually, it could be one component of sustainability learning in classroom as part of the official reporting for accreditation and other purposes, because it shows like your colleague at the beginning of the class, you measure at the end of the class, or at the beginning of the program, graduate program, you use this software, this series of questions, and at the end, it shows both progress and performance, which I like to do at the beginning, at the end. It shows your impact in changing behavior. I don't like changing behavior. I would like to say changing perspectives.
Yeah.
because behavior is too individual, or mindset, it goes different negative connotations, but perspectives. I'm showing you a different perspective, which is more of a different life. So it's you to take it, it's individual to take it, and with their passion driving. When I present project in classroom, and I encourage a student to do something different, like you're working on sustainable fashion, a student tell me, oh, I don't have time. I turn back and say, no, wrong comment. You don't have passion. Trust me. With passion, you stretch the time and you feel it with joy.
Yeah, you find. Yes,
So,
yeah, so true. Yeah.
I think this is a very good suggestion, especially for the sustainable MBA program. We often we do like a program learning outcome. They will be good to have like when students enter the program, we have this assessment, and after
absolutely.
a year of what we are learning for all the sustainable practice concepts, capstone, and what they have been changed, as you said, the perspective and how they can impact for the future behavior. So this
Absolutely.
is very essential assessment tool for the program assessment.
Well, having had a chance to actually take the assessment, I want to say that I found it very accurate, and I really enjoyed the questions and the things that you can do in the future part, because I think that's what missing from a lot of similar assessments. They just tell you where you are and they don't really help you get better. So I think that's, yeah, a unique side of it. And I kept like asking myself how I can incorporate these suggestions in my daily life. And I'm curious to see if I take it in like 1 or 2 years from now, if I would have a different result.
Well, I think that at this phase, we really welcome all your questions or input. And if you try it out, if you say, what about this, or I encountered that, or this happened with our student, that will be wonderful information to check it out with different age groups or different. The other day I was talking to a colleague, she teaches in Sweden, Christian Ransford, and she said the students already have a lot of sustainability education. So I was thinking, well, maybe they are very good at their environmental understanding, but maybe they are less self-aware, or maybe they don't have a clear understanding what are the anchors of their identity. So there may be areas that can benefit more of a development in one group than in the other. I am aware that we don't have a lot of time, but if you can just quickly, Jaakko, say something about this dance and the water, because I had heard the story with the glasses before, but it didn't come up in the video. So if you can just make that link.
Yes, actually, a student doing a different kind of dance, and they start with one student from, I think it's from Nepal or Sri Lanka. They do like a circle dance. So, and then we start to follow it. And after the circle dance, people need to, when he threw the ball, the people who have the ball need to be change the position. So during the time, every day we have the circular dance, and we incorporate with the class concept. The class was Organization Change for Sustainability, and we're teaching the shared leadership. So this is a part of that. And after that, we have the one student, American student. He told me we were going to do the earth dance. I said, what is earth dance? He asked everybody to take out the shoes, went to the outside the grass, and he asked everybody to put a hand on the top, and then start to pull, we start to hoo, until like 3 minutes, and nobody can stop until hoo. And we make so much noise, and all the people just looking around us from other classroom, they all join us, the hoo group become bigger and bigger. And then after, and I said, I couldn't stand. And then he said, no, I'm the leader. You asked for that. So you had to do it with everybody. And after that, we are so thirsty, and we want to drink water, and we don't have enough water because they only have a small cup of water. And then they started thinking about how important to have the water shortage issue. And after that, they decide to promote it to the class, to the campus. So actually we have a huge dancing hoo group around the in like an outdoor like a stage like in the theater, and we invite all the campus students to come to join us, and everybody can get like a small cup of water, and also student making the videotape what is important to save the water, how to save the water. And all the students come, they have the QR code to scan, and after the scan they can join to the who dance. After the dance they do the survey, what they have learned and what they've been changed, and then students actually follow the survey after the 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, they learn how they do it, and then students start to promote. We need to be changed for the behavior, because during the brush teeth 2 minutes, that can save 4 gallons of water. So students do a lot of calculation, and because they like a dance, and then making so many people want to join. So a student actually enjoy it. It's really fun, you know. And then we make it like an outdoor speaker, and they can put their music and loud as wild as they can. So it's after the pandemic, people are so stressful. We dance with the mask, with the social distance, we still like this. People want to stress out after all year of a pandemic. So one of the class, the students.
Sorry, Ayaka, I think we're running out of time. I would love to listen to more examples, but at this point, I would just really like to thank all of you for bringing your passion, for sharing what you've been doing in your classrooms, outside of the classroom, and spreading around what is sustainability mindset. I think we had a great session. I would really like to welcome and to thank all of you, John, Emilda, Isabel, Mehdi, for telling your stories, and we hope that those who were with us, you would be interested, and we would like to welcome you in our working group of Prime on the sustainability mindset. With that, we wish you a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are, and hopefully one day we'll meet in person. So now, bye to all of you.
Bye.
Thank you.